So you saw the title of the video, let's talk about sex. Now I warned you ahead of schedule, this is just going to be a quickie. But if you'll bear with me, I really want to jump into dissecting what is on both sides of the coin with all the conversations about sex. I had the thought and I'm clear that definitely you, ladies, you have your own conversations around sex, the hang-ups around hookups, and so forth, and the understanding of getting what you want out of the exchange. And at the same time, on the other side with the men, oh my God, don't get me started over there. But that's for another discussion. Check out the men's channel if you want to jump in, hear what I got to say to them. But this is for you, ladies. Who am I talking to with this one, ladies? If you've ever had the thought, men only want sex, he's not going to respect you. 3 dates, 90 days, got to be in a relationship, you got to stay saved for marriage, all the rules of how to protect yourself, how to proceed, how to navigate. We've all heard it before. What about body count? Doesn't count. Double standards. How come they can do it, but we can't? Which one? Sexual empowerment, all kinds of movements, social constructs, all kinds of things to take into consideration. And what is a lovely lady to do? What's a lovely lady to do when she just wants to enjoy herself, just wants to connect, just wants to share love, the highest form and expression of love in my own personal lives? But without bringing me into the discussion, let's get back to you. And with that, I will let you know, let me take a step back. I am Dwayne Langham, masculinity architect, teaching you the ways of masculine men and how to get what you want in your sex, dating, and relationships. You just tuned in for this week's live, and it's going to be a juicy discussion. I know you like it juicy. I'll try not to play too much, but we got to have some fun with it. I mean, we're just talking about sex, right? I just have a few things I need you to do, and then we'll get into why sex can be so confusing and taboo. So welcome TikTok, welcome YouTube, and for the replay, I got you as well. You know the clips be dropping every day, 3 times a day on TikTok, both channels, men and women's on YouTube. With that, actually, before I jump in, I need you to do me a favor. Go ahead, hit that like, hit the thumbs up, share it with somebody you know could use this message today, could really need to hear what this conversation is all about. Make sure you subscribe and follow so you don't miss any of that content that I'm dropping 3 times a day over on TikTok again. And for you, YouTube, every single day we got shorts. Every other day we got uploads. I'm just trying to do God's work here, so do your best to support me. Do yourself a favor, hop into the Stand Store. Got a free copy of my ebook, Diving Deep into the Divine. Will give you all the information you need to understand these divine masculine and feminine energies, everything that I am talking about, to make it make sense, and you can get the applicable knowledge and put it into your life today. Absolutely free. It's on me. Sexuality. What's the solution? What do you need to understand? I'm going to keep it simple, down to 3 things. You have to decide, what is sex going to be for you in your life and your journey, with your goals, your ideals in mind, not right here, right now, not in your teens, 20s, whatever ages you're active in, but for the long haul. How do you want to live a life? Because there is cause and effect. And I say that because expectations versus experiences. Let's look at it this way, right? Looking with you in mind, you put your filter on. I'm not telling you any direction to go. Would you rather have the expectations that have not been met in those hollow connections, and the ones that you don't really want to count because it was not even that good? He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't last. Damn, done messed around and notched that body count for what? Versus, maybe you have to wait. Maybe you play the game a little differently. You don't have to, of course, but hear me out. If you get him, like the one you want to have some babies with, the one you want to be with the rest of your life, what would keep you? Because we're talking about maturity, right? Open, honest discussion, talking about what your likes, dislikes are, how you like, and you get to explore and play and discover with that connection, inside of that bond, inside of just getting related, inside of somebody who's going to stick around in your life for some time, who cares about. Again, this is the highest expression of love that God has put in us, the ability to create life inside of this. Now, I'm not trying to get holier than thou or anything else. I'm just talking to what's truly taking place. When you take that in consideration, because how many times have your expectations not been met, but you keep getting these experiences? But how much better would the experience that aligns with your ideal? If you want to be married, how much better would it be to explore and find out with him, that partner, the one that you wanted? Don't get me wrong, I've heard the argument. It makes complete and total sense. You know what you like because you've experienced it. You don't have to suffer through anything, and that's what I'm speaking to. Even that experience is premature because you didn't have a partner you were connected with enough to open up and be vulnerable. He wasn't a leader enough to make it a safe space. What type of experience is that, and did it meet your expectations? These are the things to keep in consideration as you're going out living your life for today, the now, your 20s, your 30s, 40s, etc. How will it all play in? Because everything you do now has an impact to later. Every time you have one of those let down expectations, every time you're feeling hollow, every time you're picking up drama, every time you're picking up baggage, the next good man, and even that means when your man shows up, when you actually get him, will you have the same connection? Will you have the same experience? Or has it already become a revolving door? Have you already been desensitized and numb to the experience? Why? Going back to what I said, you've been operating like a man. And I won't even say to the gender, it's not about being a man, masculine. Men biologically are naturally masculine, so they're going to pick up a different experience. The connection, the feelings, everything that is important on the feminine side is not nearly as important. It doesn't mean it doesn't impact as well, but you're diluting yourself to expect it to not have the same type of impact to yourself, let alone the considerations that that mature, grounded, masculine man that you want to be with, what is he looking for? What does he value? Again, if you lead with sex, if sex is all that's there, well, then he's going to treat it accordingly, but he's not going to stick around for that. So the next part, after you get clear on what you want sex to be in your life, number 2, ladies, be grown enough to have those talks. This is what I talked about. You want to talk about protection. You want to talk about preferences. You want to talk about procreation. Now, I myself personally, I practice non-monogamy. Inside of that, you got to adult some shit. It gets a lot more complicated, a lot more complex. Now, if you're in monogamy, I have no judgment towards either. The context being inside of monogamy, because it's considered to be so simple, so safe, so secure, a lot of people don't do the work and heavy lifting of still addressing these conversations. Are you clean? Are you clear? When's the last time you got tested? How many partners have you had? When's the last time you had it? All these things that we just let go to the way by because we're just dealing with one that's in front of us right now. Those ones add up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what it is. What are your preferences? How do you find that? Well, that's a conversation. Again, if that man leads, makes you feel safe, you have a connection, it's a completely different environment. But again, that's not what's going to happen with Mr. Right Now. With Mr. Right Now, and you likely know what that experience is going to be. It might be a rush leading up to it. It might be fun and exciting, and it will definitely be an experience. Is it guaranteed to be good times had? Come on, ladies, be honest. I know what it is. I already know these answers. I work with you, so I definitely know. The thing is, I'm trying to have you ask the question before you get that far down the road. So the second thing you're going to do, again, the first, decide what you want sex to be in your life, and then have a grown-ass conversation before you get to that grown-ass time. And don't get me wrong, I know it's not the coolest thing in the world. It's not slick. It's not smooth. It's not whatever. But this is your value. This is your body. This is your energy. This is your space. This is you opening up you, your most prized possession. You are the most important thing in your life. Do you really want to step into that with someone you don't know well enough before you actually have that understanding? So that is definitely something that I encourage you to address. Now, the last thing you can do, ladies, to make sure you're on the same page about sex before you open up and so that you can enjoy yourself and let that connection deepen, understand what sex is to the man. And most importantly, again, your ideals, what's important to you, the man that you want to follow. Is sex casual for him? Is he non-monogamous? Is he looking for a relationship? What is the cause and effect? Does he care about your body count? Does he care about, maybe it's not even the number of partners, the type of partners? Does he care how you value sex? Maybe he has it as a pristine. Maybe that's somebody to follow, somebody who has some standards, somebody who has some values, somebody who actually has some discernment of who they share their body with. It's not just on you, ladies. It takes 2 to tango. Same things with the conversation over on the guys. You don't want to catch that heat. They're going to have some smoke. We got some things to talk about. It's a whole situation over there with my guys. But when it comes to you, ladies, these are the things you have to consider, again, for your plan. You may not be thinking about it right now, but I want you to think about it this way. When you come across a man that has all the potential in the world and has not done what he needs to do to deliver in showing up as a man, as a leader, with the resources, with the leadership, with the skill set, whatever it is, you're not attracted. You're not interested. He doesn't meet the criteria, your standards, the bar. Dismiss, disqualified. You already know my distinction over here. Sit back in your director's chair. Next, thank you. Who's coming in? Next audition. Now the thing with that is it goes the exact reverse. He's looking for what he wants. What have been your experiences? what has been your relationship to sexuality. Because if that doesn't meet what he likes over there, and again, this is the man that you want. If it's not somebody you want, then it doesn't matter. How would it feel to have your choices, decisions, and actions in the past catch up with you in the future? Because as much as you want to fight it, as much as you may not like the conversation, as much as you may not like the stigmas, the social conversations, whatever comes with it, if you want men, you have to understand what men want. So ladies, with that, like I said, this was going to be a quickie, longer than I expected, and still wanted to give you that value. In and out, we need to talk about sex. We need to get these things clear. So I hope that this is giving you something to think about. If you want to go deeper, of course, you can book your one-on-one, but head over to the store. I want to tell you about my book, The Dance. This is all about mastering the dynamics of sex, dating, and relationships. This isn't about the energy. This is actually my proven strategies, my applicable practices that you can put into your relationship to attract, date, maintain once you're in a relationship. This is why I'm talking about this long haul stuff, because that's what I work with people for, to get exactly what they want for the rest of their life. Go check it out for yourself now. And in the meantime, I'm going to be right here, being the best version of myself. One could say beyond empowered. The question is, ladies, who are you going to be?